All right, we're live again. Same for 11 seconds, 12 seconds, 14 seconds. We didn't start that. We just started. But hey, welcome back to Doomsday's Krypt. Tonight we got, once again, the big Schwag, the lost Leatherface, Brett Wagner. How you doing, brother? Good to see you, my friend.
Feel like I just saw you last night.
I know. Well, I wanted them to be surprised, Brett. I
I
never
was
talk.
watching you. I was watching you last night.
I know, but we haven't had a chance to have you on a live stream in a while.
No, we did it a lot in the beginning, and then all of a sudden you had all these other famous folks, and I got kicked to the curb, as they say.
Oh, you've been a busy man, though. You've been on the road. I have the same thing with Beatrice. I got to get her back on, and it's been just a whirlwind. It's kind of been like, oh shit, I got to set up a live interview on the weekend. That's what I was doing these conventions, and it was like,
Yeah,
it
we
went by
both
so
were
fast.
busy. I mean, being busy is good. I did 2 months, 8 weekends in a row, couple movies, bunch of appearances, bad boy mowers. So I mean, it's been busy, but in Canada but Chris Kale,
Chris
Steve
Callie,
Merlo.
Steve Merlo, Silent Shred. Thank you for being here. Derek's horror stuff and some
They're
great
all
people
coming
in
in.
on
What the
that.
hell is going on? They said there's a 330-pound diabetic coming on. We better get on there to help him.
You know this guy over here.
I need a mower. Michael Toth. Toth. What, have we figured it
Toth, you
out?
got it. You got it right. It's Toth.
All right, Toth. That's right. Yeah, there's
As you see, he's pretty much all behind me. He gave me
yeah,
even that door hanger.
yeah, he's yeah, one of the good artists. There's two artists I really like. Michael is one, and the other guy is Matt Anderson. And God, I hope it's Anderson. But between these two guys, I got some of the best artists in the world, right? I mean, there's a lot of people you could go to that are very famous for art, right? You could find these guys that do, but we got two guys that kind of
Oh, yeah.
low
I mean,
key, and they're really good, man. I mean, Toth is and I know you use them a lot, and I use them as well for stuff, and I use my buddy Matt as
he did,
well, and
he
it's
did the
just
Doomsday Demon.
that's right. So sometimes it's in the weirdest places we can find these guys that are really good at what they do, and we have found a couple guys that are really good at what they do, and we hope that, and I know you do as well, is that we hope that we can get these guys exposed to the world so people can see the wonderful artwork these guys do, and get Michael Toth out of that friggin'
I think I'm going to back in and out because it seems you're fine on my computer, but on my phone, I'm lagging and it's cutting in and out. I don't know if it is for them on the stream, but you're running smooth on my laptop below me. If I pop in and out and it don't come back clearly,
I'll
I'm
keep
just going to
talking. I can
switch
do
to my
that. So,
laptop.
but yeah,
Oh,
you
yes,
and
you
I,
can.
we
You're,
find
you're,
we find these good artists and we find these good people, and it's like, at our age now, it's like I don't want to be around idiots. If I got a couple cool people that I can trust, that I know are really good at what they do, and if I just ask them to get something done and they get it done, and I'd rather just have a couple cool people, and I like hanging out with creative people, yourself, Toth, some of these other guys, Scott Monster, who I'll be going to Arizona for, and his record store, and the guys up at Frightmare in the Falls. Man, let's talk about Frightmare in the Falls real quick.
I wanted to ask you about that.
Ask me some questions.
I mean, it was beautiful out there. I've been to Ontario on the American side. Well, Niagara Falls on the American side.
Yeah.
And it is beautiful. I haven't been there from the Canadian side. But not only that, your hotel room, just the pictures you had. And
It's
this is
right
before the
outside.
event.
It's right outside. It's crazy that I know Bill Mosley and his wife, wonderful people, man. If you ever get a chance to talk with Bill away from a convention or something, or just a really good. And his wife is very funny too. Here's a funny story. Real quick, a segue.
I can't hear you. I'm going to bounce in and bounce out on my phone.
Okay. Here's a funny story about Bill and his wife. And when you come back on, his wife is like a really accomplished actor, and she's very funny. But I didn't know the acting thing, and I'm sitting there, going, she's so funny. I'm like, Bill, your wife's so funny. She should be doing some acting gigs. And then he started throwing out there all the movies she's been in, and I was so embarrassed. And but quite the cool couple, and I got to fly home with them. So we got home very late to LAX, like at 11:30 at night. But Frightmare in the Falls was just a great show. You know, it's the first really big show that I've been to in many years. I've been to a few shows, but this one was large, huge. A Canadian contingent was there. You know, had Bill Moseley on the one side of me, and on the other side, I had Kim Coates, a friend of mine that I met many years ago, who's a great actor. He is such a good actor, and a lot of people, you know, Sons of Anarchy. He's so much more than Sons of Anarchy, although he was great on Sons of Anarchy. So, all right, where are you? Do I got to keep talking, just chatting, because you are not back on? How is this going to work? But yeah, so if you ever get to go to Frightmare in the Falls, I believe they do it like every Halloween-ish. Hopefully I'll be back next year. Had a really good time. We did the full costume pictures, but I'm going to do a little bloody full costume pictures next year for them and a whole bunch of shows. Okay, I don't know where you are. You're not on here, so I think I'm going to leave and come back as well. Well, he was on there. Now he's not on there. And I don't see anybody in the room either. Oh. Yeah. That's his wife? Oh, there you go. Oh, there you are. You back?
I made it. Now I got my mic too loud. It cut out in one ear. I was lagging all over the place. And I don't know. Like I said, if it keeps doing this on this screen or on this device, I'm just going to go with the laptop straight. Of course, it hasn't done this in a while, but
so while you were gone, I don't know. I was chatting about Moseley and his wife. So I didn't know she was a really accomplished actress, actor. And she's so funny. And I forget where we were, at what airport. We were like in maybe Buffalo. We were in the Buffalo airport. And she was so funny. I'm like, you should be acting. And Bill was like, my wife's been in so-and-so. And I was like, uh-oh. He started naming off a whole slew of things. I was so embarrassed. Spinning a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff.
I've had that at conventions where it's like, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Like, you make a mistake because you meet so many people, and it's like, oh man, don't I feel stupid?
I know that, but I should have. Look, if I'm going to hang out with somebody, I usually will. I'll do a little research. Doesn't matter if they're sitting next to me. I'll just so I know if I know someone's coming, just so I can be. Like I throw a little knowledge down, and they go, oh my gosh, this guy knows my, just to make sure. Like if I know I got a call back for an acting gig or a movie, I will look to see who the director is. Because maybe a TV show or movie, maybe we have an acquaintance that I can drop so-and-so said hello, or I'll call that person, when I'm at a call, oh yeah. Tell them we're good buddies. So, but yeah, when he said, oh, my wife's a very accomplished actress. And then when I got home and I was looking at all her credits, I was like, oh my God, like Thelma and Louise. I mean, she's been in a ton of stuff. And I was just like, oh man, I was so embarrassed, but really nice people. And listen, if you're going to fly and hang out in airports for like 6 or 7 hours, Bill Moseley and his wife are cool.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to meet him at Scarefest. What a great dude, man. He dug the, of course, the Vinnie Cucarato, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He even brought out the Chop Top voice, which was pretty cool. Lick my plate. He's a great guy. Listen, there's so much, and I was making fun of him because
he's been doing conventions, and besides he's been an actor for a long time. He's been doing the conventions for quite a while. He's there's a difference when you're doing a convention, a horror Comic-Con horror movie convention. If you know what you're doing, you can have a good time. You can save a lot of heartache and sitting there. And if you know the people, because some people will come up and they just want to chat, you have to be polite about it. When if you have people in line or you don't have people in line, there's got to be a way. Bill knows what he's doing. I think he said something about, there was a funny line like, "Oh, it's almost to the end of the year. I've only been shaking like 40,000 hands this year," but he knows he knows the conventions. I said, you should do a seminar and have all the young actors who are going to do conventions come in, and you could just tell them, this is how you do it.
Yeah, he is a pro. He's at almost everything though too. Yeah, I used my Schwag card, as you know. You received that package yesterday.
I did. Well, we can talk. We can talk about that. So.
Oh, we got a lot to catch up and talk to.
Let's talk about that real quick. So you were down at Scarefest, Lexington, Kentucky. Huge from what I understand, convention. Talk about it a little bit.
Oh man, Scarefest was something else, dude. I mean, I love all the conventions. I always walk away from any convention. Wow, that was a great time, whether it's Bucalo or Phantasm or Crypticon. And the Scarefest was like, I don't know if I want to do another one. I'm tired. I want to take a break, but this one's good. And I knew Nick and Mick were going, Nick Benson and Mick Strawn, and it's like Nightmare on Elm Street Forecast, CJ Graham, who I'm a big fan of, and just all of them. But there was just so many names to list. It's like Robert Patrick. Well, I was going to get to that.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, that's okay. But there was just so many people. I was like, I gotta go. And the Robert Patrick was like the icing on the cake right there. Robert Englund, Robert Patrick, Lance Henriksen. But I mean, how many horror conventions or times am I going to get a chance to meet Robert Patrick as somebody who's a horror fanatic? But Terminator 2, Terminator 1 were like a huge part of my childhood. You Could Be Mine by Guns N' Roses, I mean, I must have watched that video for clips of the Terminator 2 before it was coming out. Went to a movie theater probably about 10 times to watch it. Watched it on video as soon as it came out until it, basically wore out the VHS tape. And to meet Robert Englund, and had pulled out the Schwag card. I'm walking by, I see him all excited. I'm, hey, Robert. My buddy Schwag said to say hey to you. Fuck that guy. But he turned around, he laughed. He's like, oh, no, I'm just kidding. He's got the same dry humor as I do. That's something I'd say. Like somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I know your buddy Michael Toth." Fuck that dude,
Yeah, he's got the. You guys had you and Toth. You got some artwork done up for him. So
yes,
yeah,
that just arrived. I got the picture of him with it. You guys, if you're only on YouTube, you can see the picture of Robert Patrick with Michael Toth's badass cutout. That thing's amazing. He was really blown away by that. And also I had the T800 by Lonnie McCullum, who does the Freddy's. You see that I got the resin Freddy's. So that was a really cool piece. I rushed just because Patrick was coming. And I really wanted to get the T1000, but unfortunately we didn't have time to get it done. But it is something we plan on. And he was like, it doesn't look anything like Arnold. And we're like, just busting chops. He's a ball buster. I found that right away, but in a great way. Like, he's joking right away, but he's so dry about it. It's like, oh, fuck that guy.
Listen,
man, maybe he doesn't maybe he
tremendous actor as well, right? He's a tremendous, one of my favorite I mean, listen, being the T1000 was a big deal, right? That's a big deal. But he is such an accomplished actor. And a really good actor. One of my favorite things is in Copland with Schwarzenegger. I mean, not Schwarzenegger, with Stallone and
De Niro and just all of them.
And there's a scene where Ray Liotta shoves a dart up Robert Patrick's nose and puts him in the corner. And I'm like, oh my God, Ray Liotta shoving a dart in your nose. And he was so good in that movie. But I mean, he's a character, right? You can see he's doing the new, what's he doing, honey? The
Peacemaker.
No, besides a Peacemaker.
I think it's 1923 with Harrison Ford.
1923. It's the prequel to. What the hell's the name of that show? Oh, Yellowstone. It's the prequel to Yellowstone. And it's him and Harrison Ford, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
he's worked with
there's a couple
everybody.
okay. I think people have heard about both of them before. Yeah, Robert's awesome, man. That's
Yeah.
Yellowstone. I have not had a chance to catch up on. I've watched the first few episodes. I was like trying to get through anything lately in life is almost impossible. But Robert Patrick being in it, and the fact that you told me you knew him, which was really cool too, because I sat there and we talked about you. We talked, about all the stuff you do and what a great guy you were. He was really blowing smoke up your ass. Your ego would have been like that.
That's
No,
all right. And
he,
I would have
no,
taken it. He's really
I've
good to
just,
me and my wife, and he's been really good to me and my wife for, well, since we started dating 11 years ago and then got married. So I don't trust. I'm a guy, right? So I don't trust many people. If I couldn't be someplace and my wife wanted to go watch the fight with Robert and his guys, which we used to go watch fights. We used to go watch the UFC over at the, a couple of his motorcycle brothers, and we go watch the fights. And if I couldn't be there, I trust my wife over there 100% with the guys, not a big deal. Those guys would look out for, and Robert's one of them. So if I trust you with my wife, that's a big deal.
Yeah, you're on the good list there.
Yes.
Yeah, he was so cool, man. I mean, I sat and talked to him for a while, because he put you on the phone. He recorded a video for you of everything.
Yeah.
And he seemed as excited to talk to you and with both me and you at the table about the stuff and everything you guys were doing. It was like you had to get Brett involved, and we were just kind of sat and chilled out. I chilled out with Robert Patrick, just talking about Peacemaker and Terminator.
Yeah. Now he owns he's part owners of a Harley Davidson of Santa Clarita. So, in fact, I even bought his old motorcycle.
That's what he's saying.
Yes.
I told him that.
Go ahead.
I was telling him how much you loved the piece and you saw it, and so I made it a gift. I'm here like, well, this is from me, Schwag, and Michael Toth to him. I figure we all would want to see it, and he's like, I'm hanging it in my bike shop, and how cool is that? Especially for our buddy Michael Toth, who's been killing it with the art.
Yeah, he's great.
His art's been seen with all these celebrities now, between Ryan showing it to him, me showing, and we just got to get him out of the house to one of these Doomsday Krypt tables for sure.
So I'm going to do something next year that I can't really talk about, but I'm only like 5.5 hours from him in July next year. So there's no excuse, Toth. No excuse. Going to get your 6'7" ass out of the house, and you're going to come hang out with me, whether or not the man right there can come and show up, because it's about 14 hours for him to drive, but you're only 5 hours away. No excuses.
You could be a doppelganger. You could go behind like you're getting dressed up like Leatherface and just make Toth come out there, and you can grab yourself a beer or something, sit back there, and I bet you could pull it off.
Yeah, he's just going to be he's 2 inches taller than me, so that'd be fine. Yeah, we could do that.
That's all right. I use elevated shoes when I get out there when you come back out, just a little taller.
Yeah, so so Frightmare was really good. It was the guys running it are professionals. They put on a good show. They spend money, they make money. It's a good deal. I'm excited to work for them again. I had a tremendous, in fact, I had my best convention I've ever done in, I don't know, 12, 15 years of doing a convention. That was the best best time I've had. It was consistently busy. I did about 50 to 60 costume photos with the folks. It's just amazing because, everybody, and I did my panel too, which was great because I don't really do panels. And I had a panel, had about 50 people in there, was excited. They come get you, say you got a panel in 15 minutes. Okay. You got to do pictures in 30 minutes. Okay. Let me get my costume. So now what I'm probably going to do at a lot of these things is I'll wear 3/4 of my costume and the apron and the mask will just sit. And when it's time to go, I'll throw the apron and the mask on and grab a
do what the newscasters do, be dressed up from the top and just make sure you have a table with the tablecloth. Just be out there in Speedos. That'd be funny.
So, believe me, it's getting in the full costume is fine as long, but if it's not too hot, it's fine to be in everything but the apron and the mask. And it's just a lot easier in case someone does want to do. If you have a professional photographer like they did, they're running through and they're taking your pictures. They had a thing called the Kill Shack, which if you see some of the pictures, it's a shack. It looks like the side of it, the couple walls, and there's a dead body on a table and blood everywhere. So that's what we were doing.
Was it a built frame or was it just like a green screen in the back?
It was built. Yeah, it's a built. It's a quarter of a shack. It's pretty cool. So,
yeah, they did that at Scarefest with the Elm Street house for photos.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that. So it's cool when you do that. You can take the full costume pictures with people, and they got a nice background. So that's why you stay. It's just much easier to stay in the half of the costume instead of, okay, I got to go spend 20 minutes getting dressed. So, but yeah, it was fun. It was great. I'm excited. I'm excited to go back up there again. I think we'll probably go back up next. I think I'm going to be invited back. And they had a microphone there, so once in a while I'd get on the microphone and I'd try to plug some people. Of course, I'd get over there and get your Emilio Estevez.
Mike comes. You know Mike well, but Mike has everything. He sends me pictures and like he'll send it to email and he'll write the weirdest names ever. You'll hear him doing Ricky Spanish. He's just a comedian. It's all that cake he eats.
It's all that cake. Yeah, but yeah, so I'm excited. So we got a couple big things we're doing in December. I'm excited. I was going to go out. Me and the wife are going to go out. Where are we going out? Thanksgiving. So we're going to go do a little Airbnb up and bring our dog Lola, and we're going to go up by Cambria, by Hearst Castle, up a couple hours away, and then December 17th, doing that pop-up horror con thing for the folks there in Houston. They do the Houston Horror and Film Festival out there. So I'm pretty excited about that. December 17th, we'll do that in Houston. And that's going to be awesome. That's with some of the guys from Return of the Living Dead. And I'm pretty excited because, John, that I'm a mark as it is. I'm a big fan of horror. So that's why I got into it. So when I can do a convention with someone that I, watched and I was like, oh, and idolized, and Return of the Living Dead was great, especially with the music and naked chicks with mohawks. Come on now. It's good stuff.
Linnea Quigley was there. I got the Return of the Living Dead piece there. And who was at my table and I got so much stuff signed by him and I totally forgot to get that piece signed by Tom Matthews. I run into him the last 3 or 4. I'm sure I'm going to run into him again at some point.
Well,
it just seems like
he'll be in Houston with me. Well, he'll be at that pop-up with me. So we're going to do that one day, December 17th. So maybe you should how far is it to drive to Houston? It can't be that far.
I think when you looked at it, wasn't it over 10 hours or something, like 12 hours?
It might have been. It might have been 11 hours. But then December 23rd and 24th, I'll be at Asylum Records again, signing. And we'll be doing the Seasons Beatings, Christmas with Leatherface. I think we're going to do some bloody costume. So as you see some of the girls, Danielle Harris and some of these folks that do the bloody pictures with folks, I think we're going to
She's another
get a
one I got
bloody Leatherface, bloody sledgehammer and start bashing
and
some people.
You're going to do like a crossover Leatherface with Jamie Lloyd with Danielle Harris in their clown costume.
We might do that. Yeah. So we're going to do something fun like that. And we were going to go out because we're going to go see my in-laws and they live in Arizona. So then Scott Monster at Asylum Records says, why don't we do another signing? And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to do another signing. So we're excited. So the 23rd will be there and the 24th, Christmas Eve, get your last minute Funko Pop Leatherface, pops. And I got some sledgehammers that we're going to sign that came from Spirit. Spirit makes a really good sledgehammer that won't kill you, but it's solid. And we're going to do that. We're going to have a good time. So yeah, that'll round out the end of my year. As you get to travel sometimes. So when we start traveling, as much as I hate it, and now I was like, man, I did 2 full months. Now I'm like, I don't know what to do on the weekends.
Yeah, it's like I told you, like after Crypticon, and I love the conventions, but there's also a lot of setup and takedown and drive and what with the setup I bring too on top. And it's like you get there, you might get a night of sleep, then you're setting up on, say, the Thursday. You're still finishing up setup on Friday. You get to the event, and you'll see pictures of me. Peter Anthony has one. I just look so tired and drained. It's like, and I am. And I am. And then Saturday's like the one day I get to kind of enjoy it, but it's usually the busiest day. I can't leave the table. And then Sunday, I'm just kind of dreading because I got to pack it up. And I'm like, oh man, I'm done doing this. And then a week later, the next week, I'm like, I'm ready to do this again. And that's what happened with Scarefest.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of having the withdrawal blues now too.
Yeah, you get on. It's like you get on a high, right? You get. It's our way of getting high. When we get that adrenaline rush, you had a really good weekend at a convention. You've done well. You sold some stuff. You got to see some really cool people, and then you come home and you're like, all right, what? You're on that. You still got that adrenaline rush, and then it starts wearing off, and you're like, oh no, I don't know what to friggin' do. And if I don't get any, acting work, and I'm not making any appearances, then I'm just it's Satan takes over, and you do nothing except eat and get large, get fatter, and then so. But yeah, so I'm
luckily,
excited.
as you know, I got my guys that keep me on my toes all the time.
Yeah. I love your guys.
Yeah, they're funny. You should have seen him today. Guess what movie he watched? We watched Terrifier 2 because he had to watch that. He's a big Art of the Clown fan. Yeah, he loves Art the Clown.
So
and he had to watch
we have not seen that yet. And I know Steve Barton and a couple of my friends, were big parts of that movie. So I'm trying. We're going to watch it soon. It's always nice when you can see something that didn't cost a lot of money, and guys who are working their asses off to make something nice, and then they make something nice, and then people, either are really smart, one of the smartest, what's the word I'm looking for? Publicity wise, it was very smart publicity.
Yeah,
marketing. Either one of the greatest marketing things of all time, or the thing is really good. And from what I understand, it's really good. And it's nice to see some guys that put their hearts and souls into something like that, and they're starting to get the kudos for it and acknowledgments. And the Terrifier 3 is going to be huge.
Oh, it's going to be. I knew Terrifier 2 was going to be huge. And a lot of people I talked to were like, well, Terrifier 1 was cool. Everybody liked it. But it was it was a long gap in between the two for movies in that sense. And with the pandemic, the movie had been filmed for a while. And then when it was coming out, people were like, oh, it's over 2 hours. Who wants to stay? I was not bored in that movie at all. That was
that's the key, right? That's the key.
I haven't heard one horror fan say it was a bad movie. I mean, you're going to find somebody who can't get through it. Even my mother. I think she tried to watch the first one, not the second one. I think it got to the sawing in half scene, and she was out. But she tried. I give my mom credit at 70+ years old, trying to support her son and watch the horror movies that he talks about, and it's my niece's favorite. But yeah, Terrifier 2 was awesome. It's on Screenbox. You can get it. You can get Screenbox through Amazon.
I think we can get it through on demand. So we'll probably do it and spend a couple bucks.
Well, Screenbox is like $5 a month. It's an app service, and I think they'll have a free trial too.
So tell me about Screenbox before I go look and tell the wife we need to add $5 more.
Well, that's what it's on, Screenbox.
But is Screenbox, is it like a horror thing, or that's just the name?
Yeah, it's like Shudder,
honey.
But it's on that.
Look up Screenbox. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's on, and I think it's $5 a month. The first week's free. I'm keeping it just because I love the horror apps. And the more the merrier.
Yeah, we're all good with the horror apps, believe me.
Well, they got the It documentary on there, which is really good. I believe Fuzz on the Lens had a hand in the It documentary. I think they were associate producers. They were associate producers on Terrifier 1 and 2, Mike and Jason Levy. And there's also, what's it called? Oh my God, the Hellraiser documentary of Hellraiser 1 and 2. And I can't think of the name of the movie.
The two best ones, period.
Oh, it was really, really cool.
They just had a PG-13 version out on Hulu.
Yeah, I saw it. It was, I don't know. I there's a lot of them. I like Bloodlines is okay. I know it was Everything Went to Space. I just kind of enjoyed the story. Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, I know that's kind of a fan favorite, but Hellraiser 1 and 2 are definitely my top two.
2 might be 2 was gnarly with The Doctor Is In. I mean, that guy, The 2 was gnarly, man. Look at it's Clive Barker, and he's just an amazing dude and a guy I've never got to meet, but I'm real excited. Hopefully, I'll see him at a convention since I've been doing a lot more, and I am going to be doing a convention I think next year with my old director from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I'm real excited about that. There's a lot of be doing a lot more bigger conventions next year, and it's going to be a busy year for conventions. So hopefully, you and I will do one
Yeah,
together,
we're
or
definitely
a couple together.
going to catch up. Yeah, we're definitely going to catch up on them because I plan on taking a little regrouping. Planning on a lot of the marketing strategies for Doomsday's Krypt with these next few months, and I've talked to you about a few things behind the scenes that I'm working on that I'd like to get done. So it's kind of like I feel like there's a lot of options and avenues to go with Doomsday's Krypt, and I'm taking this time now that I can finally breathe a little bit, even though I work a lot, because the conventions had me on the go to, do simple things. Even the script to the three-eyed demon that me and Mike have been talking about doing.
Yeah,
a comic book. I know you wanted
to do Doomsday's Krypt first annual bikini contest somewhere in South Texas.
I do want to do some sort of mini something, for Doomsday's Krypt that would be a lot of fun. I've got plans, so that's about a pretty big hint that I'd like to do something really a mini cool type situation, and I'm hoping to do that in the next 6 to 8 months. That means really doing the marketing right now, and if I do something, I always got to do it right. I'm not going to do it half-assed.
Yeah, there's
I'm going to make sure it's.
Yeah, you're good. You listen. You've done a lot for this. You've done a lot for this horror community. You've done a lot for me and Toth and a whole bunch of other people. So you've done a lot of good things. You're a giving person. And if you weren't,
I appreciate that.
If you weren't, then we wouldn't be hanging out. But you do. You're a good guy. I like coming and visiting you. I like coming and visiting the guys you work with down there. And
you were the first and only.
What was that?
You're the first and only person who's celebrity that's been down to the Krypt.
That's
and really
right.
Anybody.
That's
even
right.
Friends.
And listen, if you got $50, folks, and you PayPal me right now, I'll tell you how to get in.
He'll tell you the secrets.
There's a lot of good stuff down there. There's a lot of goodies down there that I would love to have.
We're working on. Actually, I've been working on the basement area, getting that ready. So we're going to be setting that up pretty cool. And
cool.
I was even showing Mike, because he's doing a lot of the art. Pretty much 99% of the art for me that's done is Michael Toth. Well, some Straka, who's a great guy, but Michael Toth just gets stuff banged out. And I showed him the outlet. He's already coming up with ideas of good stuff to make it cool.
He just needs to come in. You need to get him out there and have him come down there and paint the bottom.
I'm telling you.
Paint it for a couple days, 2 or 3 days, and have him paint his own designs and everything there, that you want. And that's what you do. If money was no object, or he lived closer,
I would do it anyway.
I would have him come out here and draw and paint our walls for us and do some cool stuff.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea in the basement. I wish we could get him out there. And he's saying on Voodoo. I'll talk to him. I've been wanting to get him out here anyway.
You can after December 8th.
Yes, after Christmas.
He's got obligations at home, and then after that, he's free to go out and do what he wants.
See, we don't use C anymore. We just use K, Cash Money, Doomsday Krypt K. So
Cash Money, that's his nickname, Michael Cash Money Toth.
Yeah, big man. Welcome aboard.
Listen, the wife is home. She's looking at me, so I think we
cut it short.
We're gonna have to cut it short. Not short. Hey, listen, a quick 35 minutes is good.
That's good for me. Hey, it lets me get some sleep and shit.
That's right. What do you have coming up that we need to know about?
Oh boy, I got a bunch of interviews coming. I know we're going to be talking possibly with Evil 3 with CJ in the near future. We're working on that.
CJ Vecchio, the director, producer, and writer of the Evil 3, a really good guy. One of those directors that does, lower budget. I guess it's lower budget movies, and he's really good at what he does. And he was totally upfront with me and everything, and it was a pleasure to work with him and work with some of the guys he had there that were on the set. A lot of good actors, a lot of good people that worked for him. So I'm excited. We got probably another one next year we'll do with him. CJ, we got to get you out there and get you killed on camera.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to go out there. Let's see. I'm going to tell you who I got coming on if I can remember everybody.
Okay,
Well,
here we
not
go.
off the top of my head. All right. Well, I'm not going to even say dates because I cannot remember. My good friend Kyle Rappaport. He's just did this movie called The Shackled Demon Project. It's got a Blair Witch kind of vibe, and they did it like 14 years ago now. Him and his friend Doug Savino,
Okay.
and I'm going to have them on. I'm going to be doing a review of the Shackle Demon Project, and like I said, it really kind of blew my mind because it's a couple kids with a video camera that did a pretty cool Blair Witch, paranormal activity type movie. Came out awesome. Got them coming on. I got a filmmaker named Scott Hand coming on. I got Steve Merlo coming on. I got Will Colazzo coming on.
Nice.
I'll set the dates.
Two guys that need to put me in their movies: Will Colazzo and Merlo.
Yep, Steve Merlo. I'm not sure what he's working on next, but I'm sure he's got something up his sleeve.
I know that Brett Wagner better be able to audition for something, Merlo. Just throwing it out there. I like Steve Merlo. He's a good filmmaker, and he seems like a decent guy. So
he's a great guy. Yeah, I'm working on Butterball. I've spoken to Simon Bamford, who played Butterball from the Cenobite from Hellraiser. So hopefully get him on soon.
Oh, that'd be
We're already
cool.
working for some Hellraiser stuff in case he does, because I want to make sure it's pimped up for him back here. Let him know about the Hellraiser fandom.
Well, let's see if we can get Robert Patrick to do something with you, even if I got to go over there and call from my phone and say, Robert, get in here for 10 minutes.
That would be cool as hell. I'd love to have him on. Like I said, just talking with him, he was just a down-to-earth dude, and it was some great conversations.
He loves horror movies, man. Let me tell you something. What was that weird movie we watched him in, babe, where he's killing people with hammers? He did a horror movie a couple years ago where he's like an eccentric weird guy in a house, and they filmed it up out here in Piru by where we live, and he's killing people with hammer. So if you ever want to get something cool, get Robert Patrick to sign a hammer for you.
I will definitely do. I think I know what movie you're talking about. It's on my watch list. I'm here like, I got to watch this. It's got Robert. Is that Robert Patrick? And it's like a girl sitting on a chair or something, a lounge, like a recliner.
Weird. Yeah, that's it. All right, listen. So sounds like you got a full slate coming up. Thank you for giving me 40 minutes to chat with you about what's coming up. Thank you for that 5 minutes where I was by myself. Hopefully,
I wanted you to get that solo shot.
Hopefully, people weren't bored when I was chatting, but it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I appreciate you. And let's get CJ Vecchio and talk about. And he's got another movie that he's planning for next year that he's writing right now. He's got a co-writer. They're doing that, and it'd be good to get him on there and talk about his next. Because his next project is real. It's a true story, which I like. I always like these true stories and of some bad stuff that happened in Chicago back in the day. So Michael Toth said he's dating Kylie Jenner. Okay. All right. All right. Hey, anyways, pleasure chatting with you, and we'll stay in touch.
All right, cool. I'll probably just give them an announcement. Take care, Brett. Thank you for stopping in.
No, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. The Lost Leatherface, Brett Wagner. Thanks again, brother. All right, so I'm going to just run it off a little bit more. Thank you guys for hanging out in the live stream. Get a little more view of some of Michael Toth's work. Let's see back here. We got the Vinny Cucurato radio station, little Scott Strack art. That Arnold that Robert Patrick was joking by Lonnie McCullum that he said didn't look anything like Arnold. I'm like, give me a break, Patrick. But thanks for coming in, guys. Thanks, Smoke. Thanks, Michael Toth. Silent Shred. Appreciate it. Sorry if I didn't get a chance to get to all your comments. The guy in the green flannel. Thanks, guys. Silent Shred, Michael Toth. I guess if Tony was here and anybody else who was on Facebook that I can't tell who it is. Sabuana, Chris Callie. Take care, everybody. Peace out. And I will have announcements of upcoming guests for next weekend. Actually, this week, Tuesday, a special episode on Tuesday. It's not going to be in the Krypt. I got Will Colazzo coming on, and possibly a few of the cast members. We're going to be talking about his upcoming movie, and I know a guy might be making a cameo in it, so you might want to check it out. We're going to talk about this upcoming movie of his. Let me make sure I got the name of the movie right, because I have so many. I'm terrible with my memory. So let me announce this movie. I always call it 666 Part 2, but let me get it right, because I do have a little cameo in it, and he's got announced Camp Blood 666 Part 2, Exorcism the Clown. You can watch the first one on Tubi. The second one's going to be filming soon. It's on demand on Indiegogo. I will be having a small little cameo in it. I won't really be in the movie, but I'll be in the movie. You guys will see. So keep your eyes on that. And that'll be Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll see you there. Peace out, guys. Boom.